Welcome back to another edition of Stally's Locker here on June 15th, really early in the morning, or June 14th still. I haven't gone to sleep yet, so I'm considering it June 14th. Big news, obviously everyone's talking about the World Cup, and that's why I have here the soccer jersey on. Obviously in the United States, the biggest news, USA and England. England scores just 4 minutes into the game, in the 4th minute, before you even hit the 4-minute mark. Go figure. It's kind of like the U.S. in 2006. They gave up a goal 5 minutes in against the Czech Republic, ended up losing 3-0, didn't advance through group play. So here in America, most people pretty disappointed to see the U.S. give up the goal that early. However, the United States battling back, Clint Dempsey taking a shot from well outside the 18 box in the 40th minute. Now kids aspiring to be goaltenders, let me give you a small piece of advice here. If you're playing goalie, don't wear these, okay? These here, these don't hold on to a soccer ball. These are oven mitts, okay? Now, Robert Greene's parents, the English goaltender, never taught him that. Never taught him how to get a real, proper piece of goaltending gloves. And the ball hit him right in, literally, the oven mitts, and rolled right into the goal. The United States ties it up 1-1, held on for what is a very, very big tie for the United States. Now, despite tying England, they only have 1 point. You cannot overlook the importance of their next game coming up on Friday morning against Slovenia. Slovenia beat Algeria 1-0, which puts them in first place right now in Group C. The United States needs to beat Slovenia, or at least draw with them, for a good opportunity to move on. Really, Slovenia is a lesser team, and if they let Slovenia draw the game, Slovenia is going to end up 2 points in front of them going into a game. Slovenia against England, the United States against Algeria. The United States should beat Algeria. England expected to beat Slovenia, so that the United States could still advance that way, but they're playing with fire at that point, playing with house money, so to speak. So the United States must beat Slovenia. If Slovenia beats them, they are in big, big trouble. Probably not going to advance in what was viewed as probably a lesser group in the World Cup. Now, the other issue with the World Cup is the vuvuzela, which is the thing that sounds like there's all the bees are on the microphone every time you watch a game. Apparently, this is a big instrument in South Africa that a lot of South African culture or whatnot. But to most people, it sounds like this kazoo for 90 minutes. 90 minutes of that noise. Now, people have asked South Africans if they could possibly stop playing the vuvuzela, and they've responded harshly. They say that we should respect their culture, and that that it's a big part of what they do, and that we're guests in their country. Now, I understand being like a guest. When in Rome, do as the Romans. Ron Burgundy never really got that one through his head in Anchorman, but for the rest of us, we all understand what that means. However, this noise, that's not an instrument, okay? This is a kazoo. This is a kazoo. It makes the exact same noise as a vuvuzela. Okay, next time maybe they have the World Cup in Eastern Europe. Let's say they decide to do what their cultural music wants to do and go and blare that maybe in the South African bench for the next 90 minutes. Okay? I'm already getting a headache. I've heard of people having to take aspirin because of the... You know what? Just shut them up. Just be quiet. Just put them down, okay? I respect the fact that you all have culture, but please respect our eardrums, okay? Respect our sanity. This noise it's not going to hold up, okay? We need to get rid of the vuvuzelas for the sake of everyone worldwide that watches it. I understand it's a South African tradition, but please respect the rest of the world and they will respect you. Moving on in sports, a couple of headlines that will run down. Celtics, Lakers, going at it later tonight, I guess, considering it is now June 15th. Out in Los Angeles, Game 6, Celtics pulled off a huge Game 5 win Sunday. Really forced the Lakers in all 3 games, despite the Celtics losing Game 3. But all 3 games in Boston, the Celtics really forced the Lakers to play their brand of a game, basically defense. The Lakers, they'd rather win a game scoring 115, 110 points at least. Celtics, they're perfectly fine with grinding out in a 92-86 win like they did last night, 2 nights ago, technically. Sunday night against the Lakers. They're perfectly fine with that. That's what the Celtics need to do out in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, they've had a tendency to kind of let the Lakers more play their ball. Celtics really need to shut him down. Take care of business in Game 6. Don't force it to go to a Game 7. When you have Kobe Bryant on the court, that guy can make a shot from just about anywhere, as he proved in Game 5, despite the fact that the Lakers lost. They need to win Game 6. Other championships, Chicago Blackhawks took out the Philadelphia Flyers. Congratulations to the city of Chicago. First time you guys have won a Stanley Cup since 1961. That's very impressive. And obviously, here in Boston, we felt your pain for so long. Bruins haven't won it since 1972, an original 16 that's been struggling. Great to see Chicago win. Disappointing the Bruins couldn't be there with them, obviously, as they took a tough beat to the Philadelphia Flyers. Make sure I have a blog post up, JTStally.blogspot.com, very soon, kind of about the big brother nature of watching the Chicago Blackhawks win and kind of being excited for a family member, but really wishing that it was you here in Boston. Other big news behind me here, USC Trojans, my alma mater, penalized big time by the NCAA. Again, I'll have a blog post on that. The NCAA wants to cite USC for a lack of institutional control, but let's be honest, the NCAA has very little control over what they're doing to begin with. So, kind of like the pot calling the kettle black on that one. In baseball, got our Boston Red Sox back here. Now, Boston Red Sox currently sit 4 games out of, if the season ended today, they'd be 4 games out of the playoffs. And they sit 4 games behind the Tampa Bay Rays and the New York Yankees, who are tied for first in the AL East, and also tied for first with Major League Baseball's best record. Again, if the season ended today, the Red Sox would be 4 games out of the playoffs. However, they would have more wins than 4 teams that would be going to the playoffs, and they would have as many wins as 2 other teams, San Diego and Atlanta. So Boston Red Sox, considered by most right now to be the 3rd best team in baseball, unfortunately, also the 3rd best team in the AL East. Needless to say, I sound like a bitter Boston fan, but at this point in Major League Baseball, it's the American League East, and then there's everybody else. Well, that does it about here. Again, I'm Jonathan Stallsmith on JTStally.blogspot.com. Check me out anytime, or check me out on Twitter. JTStally is my Twitter name, STALLY. Thank you again for checking me out. And in case you can't hear me over the sound, I'll check back in with you next time. But for right now, this is me. Peace in.